Hey, good morning, everyone. Ms. Matias, we are live. We are streaming. You may proceed with the executive review session.
Good morning. This is the New York City Board of Standards and Appeals review session for November 18th, 2024. For the record, Commissioner Chris Yoon and Commissioner Nasa Sheta are, participating remotely. It's Monday morning. The first item up for bid. Oh my God.
We're not bidding anything.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Adjournments. The first items up are adjournments. 2024-18 BZ 15805 Union Turnpike, Queens. Decision items 45046 BZ 41 East 62nd Street, Manhattan.
No submission was required. This was an a request for an extension of term for 10 years. So I make a motion if everybody's satisfied, if no conditions, I don't have everybody satisfied with that. So then I make a motion to approve this extension of term for 10 years from the date of the grant. From the date of the expiration, I'm sorry, date of the expiration.
Motion to approve.
Yeah.
Chair Shonda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Sheta. Can't hear you.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Okay, application has been granted. Item number 3, 2024 BZ 1224 Avenue V, Brooklyn.
Okay, no submission was required on this one also. So I want to make a motion to approve with the following conditions: that the removal of exterior walls and or joists in excess of those indicated on the BSA approved plan shall void the special permit. Motion to approve, if everybody's okay with that.
Chair Shonda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Sheta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Application is granted. Withdrawals, item number 4, 2021-14 BZ 2010 Victory Boulevard, Staten Island.
Okay, motion to withdraw without prejudice.
Chair Shonda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Sheta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Commissioner
Aye.
Yoon? Aye. Thank you.
Application has been withdrawn. Again, 1 moment. Continued hearing items on the SOC calendar, special order calendar. Item number 5, 826-86 BZ through 828-86 BZ, 26910-10 Grand Central Parkway, Queens.
So I want to get a little bit of clarification regarding the community board vote. It seems following its meeting with the North Shore Tower residents in September, applicant has reached out to the community board for a full board hearing date. And as I understand it, a hearing date with the community board has yet to be scheduled. So I don't know, since the submission, if there has any new changes come about regarding this. So maybe the applicant can provide an update at the public hearing. And I will also ask that our project manager reach out to the community board to get an update. At the initial hearing, board had asked for additional.
Excuse me, Agnes hand is.
Yes? Yes, Ms.
The applicant reached out several times and I also reached out to the community board to try to schedule this, so,
Okay,
okay, thank you.
thank you. So at the initial hearing, board had asked for additional clarification and supporting documents related to the prior conditions. We received a compliance affidavit letter for the 3 buildings, and it affirms that including all the broadcasting equipment, receivers, transmitters, dishes, and antennae, the total number will not exceed 75 in each building, and that no additional FM or AM radio antennae has been added, and that none of the existing antennae currently existing, none of them have been replaced. I have a couple of clarification regarding the revised plan. Regarding the counts of antennae in building 2, page 7 of PDF, sheet number BSA 2, it seems that the number of antennae on the roof listed on the table states 34. It seems to be less than the total existing and or future antennae shown on the plan. And on the plan, when I counted, it comes to 37. Same thing with the count of antennae on building number 3, page 11 of PDF, where the antennae on the roof listed on the table is 43, and that seems to be less than the total existing and future antennae shown on the plan, which comes to 49. So please do verify and make sure that the numbers are corresponding. And the roof entry alarm note also has been added to the plan. Also, we received a revised operational and maintenance plan, and applicant provided a semi-annual testing form from July 2024 for all 3 buildings. I just want the applicant to confirm that the record this testing record was provided to North Shore Boards of Directors as it was required of the prior board condition. And with regards to the statement of facts, it has been revised and the narrative has been updated, and it does provide the information that board was asking for. And the zoning resolution section also has been revised. Apart from the differences in the number of counts of antennae in buildings 2 and 3, I really have no additional comments, and I'm actually satisfied with the submission. Vice Chair Shibata.
I only had your comments. I have no other comments.
Commissioner, oops, are you okay?
Sorry.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
I have no additional comment.
Commissioner Shetta. Commissioner Shetta, you're muted.
Yep, I realized. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that they modified the statement of facts. Now the boons in the statement of facts is coming from the report by Peer Con Solutions, which is the base actually for like evaluating the performance of a system like this, whether it imposes any hazards condition on the roof or not. According to the report and its conclusion, there is none. Also, they added a note to the plans, indicating that the sign indicated on the plans is placed, the nature and the objective of each sign is based on the conclusion and the study in the Peers Con Solutions report dated September 18, 2014. At this point, I'm satisfied with the application, and I believe the applicant did actually go beyond by doing the work they should do. Again, the technical content in the Peer Con's solution report is the responsibility of the preparer of that report. We're not experts in evaluating electromagnetic waves or antenna waves, but based on the conclusion, I'm satisfied with the application. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Yoon.
Sorry. I'm satisfied with the application. I just wanted to note that I saw the emails between project manager and the applicant and the community board. And it sounded like community board was waiting to vote after they received a list of the clients that were using the antenna. And the applicant said that that could not be provided. And then we haven't heard anything else other than our project manager continuing to reach out for the vote. So there has been some communication with CB. And I think that was last dated November 8th. But it seemed like they were holding out to get some list of clients. I don't have any comments on this application, though. Just wanted to update on the CB status.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. Commissioner Yoon, actually, because of some technical difficulty with her laptop, she's taking the call from her office. She is in 22 Reed Street, so I just kind of want to let you know. Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's move on.
Item number 6, 29304BZ, 610 Lynette Avenue, Queens.
At the initial hearing, board had asked for some additional information, especially related to finding C, and clarification on some of the program spaces. Applicant has provided revised plans. Per board's direction, applicant has revised the plan to make the windows in the proposed portion of the enlargement to be fixed, opaque, and alternate means of ventilations will be provided in the area. A board had asked for clarification regarding the roof, and it seems the roof will be green to comply with the sustainable roofing requirement of local law 92-94. And the roof will not be accessible to staff or students. The new HVAC system will be screened from the residential homes located along the rear lot line by a 6-foot-high vinyl fence with sound attenuation rating of STC 28. The clarification the board required for the programming of the spaces. Applicant has stated that the proposed new multipurpose space on the ground floor will be used for prayers in the morning, and it will be used as a gym space and hold large grade-wide classes during the rest of the day and assemblies throughout the year. So that seemed acceptable to me. Board had asked for a rendering of the current and the proposed rear yard condition to determine the neighborhood character impact of the enlargement along the rear lot line. I think the initial rendering that was provided, I think the perspective doesn't seem to be correct, but the applicant provided another rendering, which is a bird's eye view that was submitted on Friday. And I found that to be a lot more helpful, and it helps in understanding where the massing sits in relation to the rear yard of the abutting residential buildings. And there is the existing homes are setbacks, and there is also a fence around that. Though just as a note to the architect, I think when we are looking for this information, we are really trying to see where the extension is in relation to the rear yards of the subject lot and the rear yard of the abutting lot. So the view looking either north or looking north from Beach 8th Street or looking south towards Beach 8th Street would have actually helped that understanding better. But otherwise, I don't have any other comments on this. With regards to the environmental, Ms. Benke, do you have any update on it?
Hello, hi. Yes, we just got the WRP sign off, so I believe that's the only, there's no other open items.
Okay, great. Great, wonderful. Vice Chair Shibeta.
Satisfied with this application.
Commissioner Otley Brown.
I'm also satisfied with the application.
Okay, great. Commissioner Sheta.
My only comment was the note, the standard note for BSA. The project manager did reach out to the applicant and he added the requested note. I want to thank him for that. Otherwise, I have nothing else to add on this application and I'm satisfied with it.
Thank you. Commissioner Yoon.
Thank you. I'm satisfied with this application.
Thank you.
New cases. Item number 7, 15490BZ, 730 Avenue S in Brooklyn.
Okay, we received proof of initial filing and hearing notice. Community Board has voted to approve this application. This is an application for an amendment of a previously approved bulk variance to enlarge an existing house of worship located at the subject site, lot 11. The applicant is seeking an amendment of the proposed enlargement, so it would require a waiver of the FAR, yards, side yard, perimeter, wall height, and building height. So this house of worship has two lots, but they're not abutting lots. They're separated by another zoning lot in between. The subject zoning lot that concerns us for this case is lot 11. Lot 11 has both the lots, by the way, did receive a variance, and a variance was granted for various bulk waivers. Specifically to lot 11, in 1991, board had granted bulk variance for FAR, open space ratio, front yards, side yards, and I think also perimeter wall height. So applicant is now proposing to enlarge this existing synagogue building on lot 11 and add floors 3 and 4. And it would result in a building that is 53-foot high, located at a corner. So couple of just housekeeping with regards to the drawing. On the stairs and the ramp, please mark arrows showing up and down direction. Prior board had permitted an FAR waiver to build up to 8,100 square feet, which is 2 FAR on the subject side. The annex building did not require an FAR building, which is a mid-lot building. It was built to 3,708 square foot, 0.93 FAR. Now, the maximum permitted FAR in this zoning district is 1.5. The additional floor area will result in a total FAR of 3.48 on lot 18. And the proposed building will continue to not meet the yard requirements, both the front yards, the side yards, and now perimeter wall height and the building height also, and also a waiver of the parking requirement. So with regards to the waiver of the parking requirement, applicant has provided a very thorough congregant map showing that 99% of its residents live within the 3/4 mile area, and has provided an analysis that shows that the proposed enlargement would meet the City Planning Commission's waiver and would therefore be exempted from providing parking on the site. I was satisfied with the explanation that was provided for the parking waiver. Now, going with the, moving on to the findings associated with 7221, the applicant has to go back and meet the findings that the board had first established, determined back in 90s. So the applicant is stating the reason for this enlargement is that the congregation has grown, and they need to accommodate to provide the programmatic space. And I think the information that was provided, the analysis and the justification of simultaneous use, were very thorough. What and I think I would say we have seen in many of these house of worships where because of the different generations that are praying at the same time, the program is to provide different kind of prayer times for different generations and group them. And all of these are happening in a very simultaneous manner, one after the and so the need for that additional space for the growing congregants with a much more generational gaps to allow for these programs to happen simultaneously. So I was very satisfied with the information. I do want a couple of clarification. I want the applicant to clarify if the existing girls aged 5 to 12 youth group that is held in the cellar of the annex building, will it be relocated to the 4th floor from 10, and it will be held from 10 to 11:45 p.m. AM. The current number is 70%, and it wasn't clear what is the projected growth that would warrant the need for a full lot line on the 4th floor. And that's why I'm asking this question as to need for a full lot line extension on the 4th floor. So I need more clarification to justify the 160% space occupancy for the 4th floor specifically, because the program for that I felt was a little bit weak. And I was trying to piece together the various programs that are going to move around from the annex building to the new building or to the enlarged portion of the building. clarify what kind of celebration will be held on the fourth floor. The reason I'm stating that is because I'm concerned about the celebration room being close to the roof, which may allow for the use of the roof other than sukkah. Please note the applicant is requesting use of the roof for sukkah, and we have granted it in another case, but it was only allowing the roof to be used for sukkah purposes. In the utilization chart, include the 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. early morning prayer. It wasn't clear from the statement and the chart where that was going to be held. So with regards to the neighborhood character, first of all, there is an existing ramp along East 8th Street to access the main lobby of the main building. Now, based on the 1991 approved plan, this ramp, which is over 80 foot long, is located on the city sidewalk. And it seems it was provided as a result of the commissioners asking, at that time, the board asking for access ramp. Now, times have changed. As we know, the number of congregants has increased and will continue to increase. The sidewalk seems to be 15 foot wide, of which 4 foot is being currently used towards the ramp. Though the existing ramp is located on a sidewalk pursuant to board's recommendation, board then had determined that the building would not have an adverse impact on the community. Now, with the increased number of congregants, the sidewalk needs to be able to accommodate the pedestrian flow. Between 9 to 12 p.m., there will be a significant number of additional congregants, 692 in this area. So since the proposal is to add new elevator to access the floors, the plan should factor in allowing the ADA access to the site from grade level to the elevator directly and remove the ADA ramp. And that would allow for enough space along the sidewalk of 8th Street. I also think the building massing is a little too high for the context. It needs to be modified. So here are some questions, programmatic questions that is justifying the need for this vertical enlargement. Specifically, what is the justification for the vertical enlargement of the open area, that is the entrance at the ground floor all the way to be open all the way to the top of the 4th or the 5th floor? It doesn't have to be open all the way. It can be kept at the existing height. Rooftop is proposed to be used, as I mentioned, once a year for sukkah. So I want the applicant to add a note to the plan stating that no rooftop access other than emergency and maintenance, except on the days of sukkah, shall be permitted, and there shall be no noise amplification and no additional lights other than emergency lights during all times. Put an acoustic barrier along the western side lot line to minimize any noise amplification that may occur from the sukkah event and does not disrupt the abutting residential use. And provide noise attenuation buffer around the mechanical system to minimize noise. I also I question the stair bulkhead. Can that be sloped from the building wall to reduce the appearance of the bulk? The statement of fact on page 5 states that as this is a corner lot, no rear yard is required or would be provided. That's an incorrect statement because while yes, a rear yard is not required, side yards are required. And therefore, in a corner lot, that is, 2 side yards are required and 1 is 20 foot wide. And that was not specifically stated in the statement of facts. So please do clarify, correct that. Windows along the eastern lot line will be opaque and fixed. And I want to confirm if those are the windows along Avenue S. And windows along the northern lot line will have STC rating of 28 and confirm if those are the windows that are facing East 8. Because this building is not exactly oriented north-south. So trying to understand the cardinal direction was a little difficult. So that's why I want to be very clear which street frontage are we referring to. So with regards to the minimal, while I find the programmatic need very reasonable, that is a justification for the additional space to serve the congregants by age group, it needs to provide some more clarification, and the building massing needs to be scaled down or needs to be modified so that it doesn't appear that tall, especially along the corner. There are two open violations on lot 11, and applicant states that it will be addressed with the proposed amendment. So if the applicant can clarify, that would be helpful on that one. I have no additional questions for now. Vice Chair Shibata.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with your statements. I have nothing additional to add.
Okay. Commissioner Otley Brown.
I'm sympathetic to the fact that they need the additional space due to the incredible increase in the number of children and young people who are becoming a part of this religious community. And so I think it's a reasonable ask, and I have no additional questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Sheta.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with your comments. I have nothing further to add.
Commissioner Yoon, who is now back in Spectre Hall.
Hello. Thank you. I had similar questions about the massing. The drawings seem to show both a picket guardrail and a parapet separated by 2 feet at the perimeter of the building. I would say the parapet should be eliminated and the guardrail serves as the fall protection and keep it set back from the building wall so as to minimize the appearance of height. Also, just clarify why you had both. I don't think I've seen that before. I had similar requests for notes on the rooftop space and the limitation of use solely during sukkot. The drawings need dimensions for the heights of the bulkheads on the elevations and the sections. I don't think I saw any. And I was curious.
Specs. Okay, just 1 second. Spangled. It's Monday. Okay.
The last question I had was, and maybe you said this, Chair, while I was transferring into the room, just a more, even like a rough breakdown of how the congregants break down into the different age groups, because while we've seen, or in my time here, I've seen some breakout, there's quite specific breakouts here in this community for college age, young couples, 14 to 17. And they all need different spaces. And so I just wanted to get a better understanding of how many people you thought roughly were in each of those demographics. Obviously, they're narrow, so they will probably keep shifting, but just to get a sense. And that was all I had.
Yeah, I think I needed more clarification specifically for the topmost floor because the program there was very open-ended and it wasn't clear throughout the day how much of that was going to be used and what will be the volume of that. Because if that portion can be set back, that would also reduce the massing, and if that's not needed. But that's where I found the justification was a little weak. Otherwise, it seemed very reasonable. Thank you.
Item number 8, 8892 BZ, volume 3.
Okay. So there was a little bit of an issue on this one. We do not have an affidavit. At least when I was reviewing it, the affidavit was incomplete. So are we second calling this? Did we?
We didn't receive it yet.
We didn't receive it yet. So we will second call it for tomorrow.
See it. Item number 9, 23807 BZ, volume 7.
Okay, this is an extension of time. So we did, this is an application to complete construction for construction and obtain a certificate of occupancy to a previously approved variance for a mixed-use residential, commercial, and a 6-story student and faculty housing for City University of New York at the subject site, and a waiver of board's rule, which expired, the prior variance, which was extended, expired in 2020. So there were two parts to this building. The 12-story mixed-use residential building and commercial building is built and is occupied. The portion that has still not been constructed is a 6-story student and faculty housing for CUNY, which is in the mid-block. So the applicant is proposing an extension of time to complete construction and obtain the CO for this portion of the building. Applicant has provided a very, I thought, a very thorough reason of documentation as to the reason for the delay. And to date, what has transpired, there were a lot of environmental remediation that was required for the entire zoning lot. And the applicant has provided a very detailed analysis where it stands, and the fact that there is a periodic management and review that needs to be done as part of the New York State DEC requirement. They're providing the management plan. And the main reason for the delay really came from the fact that while they did find a development partner during COVID, all new construction associated with CUNY had stopped. So that's why the partnership that was formalized back in 2019 did not proceed. Now, with the going time and with the housing shortage that everybody's facing, including students and faculty, the CUNY is proceeding with its new partner, and they are seeking this extension of time. I really don't have any other comments. I'm very satisfied with this application. Go ahead, Vice Chair Shibata.
I was also satisfied with this application, and it was sympathetic to the delay, but I would like a more specific breakdown as to a timeline with completion. What are the specific steps they need to take, and when will we be taking them?
Right. I think as they pointed out, first of all, I don't think this is going to get, we generally give an extension of time for 4 years. I don't know if they will be able to complete it in 4 years, because this is a pretty massive project.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other site cleanup, but we can only grant 4 years at a time. And I think they have, as they stated, prior to the start of the construction of the foundation, they will need to submit documents to OER. So they need to coordinate their review with OER, DEC,
I suspect that they're going to come back in 4
Yeah.
years and ask, but at least I'd like to have them breaking down what they expect to get
Broken down
done.
more than what's in there. Okay, fine.
More than what's in there,
Okay, fine.
what they get done so that we can put that against when they come back.
Fine.
Commissioner Otley Brown.
So I've been here since the inception of this case, and I've seen all of the hardship that they've gone through in trying to get this dorm built, including actually temporarily losing CUNY as the entity that was going to actually occupy this site. So I'm happy to see that CUNY once again is involved in the site, and they're finally getting ready to move forward. So I'm very pleased to see that it's finally going to come to fruition, and I don't have additional comments.
Okay, good. Thank you. Commissioner Shetta.
Thank you, Chair. I believe it's a very straightforward and fair application to extend the time to construct. The only thing is, yes, I agree with the Commissioner Shabat that they need to provide a timetable, and I would advise them that to make the timetable a little bit detailed, indicating that the work remaining is going to take more than 4 years. This is going to be like an introductory thing to the next application to extend time. If they don't need it, good for them. If they do, it's going to help. That's all what I have. Thank you.
We cannot extend more than 4 years, but I think So here's the thing.
So we put that in the.
What is the utility of having this detail when we know that it's going to take longer than 4 years?
I'm sorry.
I mean, the board has, I'm just gonna say generally for the record, the board has, under many other cases, said that a condition of this resolution, it shall be the last extension of time to complete construction. And we all know that unforeseen circumstances have occurred and transpired, which directly impacted the construction and the industry itself. The board then thereby at a later volume of that calendar number had to amend to undo that condition, even though the board fully intended that to be the last extension of time to complete
I
construction.
definitely do not think, knowing fully the history, and as Commissioner Otley Brown pointed out, she has seen it through inception, and I've seen parts of it. It is a very complicated site, and especially having a partnership with a private entity to develop this requires a lot of other negotiation back and forth and financing and other commitments. So I think I definitely am not going to put a condition on this because it's not relevant. We know the reality.
I don't think we're asking for a condition. I think they're just asking for a breakdown of how they expect
No,
this to go forward.
Yeah, I
And not
just,
condition them to that, because we ask for it in every single extension of term period.
I though would stay away from the word detail because there's a lot that probably it is a little early for all of them to know. I think we can get a broad picture of how much they expect the timeline, the big benchmarks, and kind
Sure.
of given us an idea of what it would take. Because there's an environment, we don't know how much of review that would take at OER, DEP, DEC, don't know. So let's keep it a broad picture and get a broad understanding of what it would take to get this bill.
Yeah,
Very mindful of the fact that this is a very complicated site and will take more than 4 years.
it's not a finding that the applicant
Yeah.
must represent that the
Yeah.
construction can be achieved within 4 years for an extension.
When I said detailed, I didn't, I don't believe I said the word detailed. I said like more, probably more, like clear picture on the timetable shouldn't be, yes, it's gonna take 4 years. It shouldn't be a statement like that. It should be at least some breakdown to the main activities. Forget about the sub activities, and then say yes. We anticipate that it's going to take us 6 years. However, because of the extension limitations, we're asking for 4, but we anticipate that it's going to be another extension. That's what I meant. I meant to help them by like putting an introductory sentence for the next application. That's what I meant.
Thank you,
Okay.
Commissioner.
Thank you. Commissioner Yoon?
Thank you. I also, the only comment I had was a timeline question, but more specifically because in the statement of facts on page 5, I think it says that in the text, not in a table format, that the developer anticipates schematic design to be completed in 4 months with construction planned to commence in late 2025 and finish in 2027. The letter from that developer is on page 71 of 72. It's a deep appendix inside
Oh, I
of
didn't go
the
that far.
document. And it does further say that we're in the early phases of planning process, breaking ground late 2025, superstructure top off in mid 2026, unit finishings by early 2027, lobby completion and project closeout in mid 2027. TCO second quarter of 2027, move in fall semester of 2027. So it's there in narrative form,
Okay.
deep in the document. So maybe what we need is just to pull that out in a tabular form into the statement of facts, which would solve. But the question I had was schematic design is occurring now and should take 4 months. And I just wanted to know if there's going to be any programmatic or bulk changes proposed to the prior approval. Because SD is an early phase and just wondering.
And you know what? That's a very good question. And so far, it seems they're going with whatever program that they had before. If there's going to be any change,
Yeah.
we will They-
I
they
understand.
know.
It
Yeah,
was
they'll
gonna
come
be a
for an
change.
amendment.
They didn't come for an amendment.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll find out.
Executive Director Costanza.
Yes.
No, the board actually just answered the question. Yes, currently what's before us is the extension of time. If a change like that is sought, then a formal amendment would need to be filed, and then the proper notification would have to be done. So, it's just a matter of procedure and fees.
Yeah, maybe they don't foresee any changes, which is great.
Nothing further from me.
All right.
Item number 10, 2024-27 BZ and 5512 BZ, 762 Wythe Avenue, Brooklyn.
Okay, we received proof of initial filing and hearing notice. Community Board has voted to approve this application. This is an application seeking an amendment to a previously approved special permit pursuant to zoning resolution pre-ZEO ZR 7319, and also seeking a new variance pursuant to ZR 7021 to enlarge a portion of the existing school building to make it a 6-story building located at the subject site. There are 2 buildings located at the subject. Go ahead, what we did.
Just to correct our lineup description, it's an amendment to the previously approved special permit under 7319 pursuant to 1146, which allows the board to amend a special permit that's no longer quote unquote on the books.
Right, right.
It is not an amendment to a ZR 73-133.
Oh, it is not?
We've never granted a 73-133 here.
No, but the language, I mean, the findings are actually not at all different from 7319 and 73-133.
Different or not, it's 1146 that allows the board to amend and continue review under a previously granted special permit use prior to ZEO.
I see. Okay. Okay. Unless they file it as a new 73. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, 7319. Okay. All right. So the applicant is seeking a waiver of use, FAR, rear yard, height and setback. There are 2 buildings on the zoning lot. One building is already built to 6-story and the other building is 4-story. So the applicant is proposing an enlargement of the 4-story portion of the building to make it a 6-story building. So the applicant, I think, also needs to mention the height and setback. The waiver doesn't, okay, it does talk about, no, is the waiver about, also includes height and setback? Yeah. Yeah. Right, no, my notes wrong. So I have a couple of comments. Regarding the zoning analysis sheet, the dimension should match those on the plans and documents, either use consistently decimals or feet and inches across all documents. Provide the existing elevation and existing building height. I'm deriving the existing height of the 2 buildings from the proposed plan, and they are not corresponding with statement of fact. The height of the 6-story building is 74 foot 6 inches as stated in the statement of fact, or 76 foot 9 inches per proposed plan. So some of the numbers are not jiving. On page A108, proposed elevation, the title for each elevation is confusing when using cardinal direction for this site. Instead, use the street frontage names. On drawing sheet A200, indicate the height of each floor, existing and proposed building height of the building fronting on Penn Street. In the statement of fact, clarified the changed special permit. Okay, that gets deleted because now we're using the pre-7319. Provide elevation of the buildings along the rear lot line for existing and proposed. Now, looking through the history and the conditions that were required, per approved plan, a window wall attenuation of 36 specific windows and along two facades, Rutledge and White, were to maintain an interior noise level of 45 dBA with an alternate means of ventilation. So I want the applicant to confirm that the existing building meets the noise attenuation requirement that was stipulated back in 2013. Applicant has not provided a compliance chart, so need to ensure that the prior board conditions are being met. As I mentioned, with regards to the proposal, it's an amendment of the special permit and a new variance. And the proposed floor area would amount to a total of 142,482 square foot, and the building height would increase to 74 foot 6 inches. The reason for this enlargement is, and I found the explanation in this variance very helpful. I just want to, before I get into the special permits, I want the applicant to check table on page 8 of statement of facts regarding the proposed gross floor area. It can't be the same as the existing. It varies from and this analysis varies from the programmatic need report. For example, in existing building, there are 7 dining rooms with a capacity of 2,012 person. The proposed amendment will reduce the total capacity to 1,412 people. Though per comparison chart in the programmatic report, there is an increase in the gross floor area to be used for dining. So somewhere the numbers are not working. The total number of classroom space will increase from 97 to 106 classrooms to allow for 25 students per classroom. And a comparison chart of recently constructed school shows that an average gross square foot of space per student is much more than that. So the proposed is less than the average. So I want to go straight to the special permit. First of all, the applicant states with regards to finding A, applicant state that there has been no change to the school's catchment area to look for a new site. And in addition, a move to a larger site, even if it were available, would be disruptive to the school, and the proposed enlargement will provide the space that is needed for the school. I was satisfied with that statement. With regards to finding B, applicant is not proposing any change to prior board findings. There's been no change to the zoning district, and the site does abut residential zoning districts of R6 and R7-1. With regards to finding D, the rooftop play area will be set back 10 feet from the building wall, and applicant states that the EA, the noise analysis will not impact the adjacent residential use. Since the proposed building will be taller than the nearby residential homes, maybe the sound propagation will be less. I found the EAS document a little bit inadequate, and always referring to EAS was not helpful in meeting these findings. Prior to the prior approved plan, as I stated, required window wall attenuation along Wythe and Rutledge, and I would think the same would go for the proposed enlargement fronting on Rutledge. It would also require similar window wall attenuation since it is continuing along the frontage of BQE and its approachway, unless the traffic condition and the volumes have changed for the better, which I don't think it has. It has probably gotten worse. So the applicant needs to provide a study to justify if any noise attenuation or alternate means of ventilation is not required. Otherwise, they need to add noise attenuation notes to the proposed plan and plan set and ensure that all windows and walls are attenuated accordingly for the existing and the proposed. Applicant states that with regards to finding D, applicant states that the proposed enlargement would be achieved by would achieve a pre-pandemic level of students, and 20 school buses will continue to bring students to and from the school. And the current, under the current condition, I think 20 school buses are used. And the board originally in its review had considered a 15 bus. That's what was projected. And the wide frontage is used for drop off and pickup. And it can accommodate 6 buses along this frontage at a time. And the current operation will continue to maintain, though from my site visits, I didn't make a specific site visit, but I go by this site quite often. And I have seen not only the frontage of Wythe, but also Penn being used for bus holding area. I have no initial comments on this finding, but I don't think an additional 5 bus will be significant, though a lot is contingent on the changes to the existing street network volume. We did receive initial comments from DOT, and DOT may add some recommendations with regards to bus operation. DOT also pointed out an issue with trash storage practice because it blocks the sidewalks and affects the pickup and drop off of students and the bus loading. And DOT is concerned that the expansion may exacerbate this situation. So prior school application conducted an analysis regarding, I think the school that we reviewed before, which is the one, Lynette Avenue, this case. In there was an analysis that was done to understand how much of the trash capacity storage would be needed. I would strongly suggest that this application considers that analysis and apply it for the entire building, because a trash storage should not be just considered for the enlargement, it's for the entire building. And would suggest that the applicant do this analysis and identify a trash collection process and operational plan, and so that it does not end up blocking the sidewalks where the children are going to be dropped off and picked up, and a bus loading area. And this is part of the special permit finding, but it also goes towards the neighborhood character. So I want to jump to the findings related to 7221. As I mentioned, the programmatic report was very helpful and clear, though wanted clarification as to why more therapy rooms are needed compared to before. Finding B is not required since it's a nonprofit institution. With regards to finding C, neighborhood character, maximum street wall height permitted in an R6, R7-1 district is 60 foot, followed by a sky exposure plane after a setback. The analysis needs to discuss why a setback and a vertical enlargement within the sky exposure plane is not possible. The proposed street wall height of 74.6 inches is 14 foot taller than the permitted, and it would not be significantly out of context, especially given the portion of the enlargement is occurring along the portion of the neighborhood that is facing BQE, abutting a parkland. Now, the EAS did do a very thorough shadow analysis to determine if the incremental shadow cast from this addition would have any impact on the playground, and the document states that it would not, because the duration is really primarily during December month. I think it would be, during March and May, the incremental shadow will be far shorter, and June there will be none. I was satisfied with the self-created hardship. Again, based on the programmatic need, I do find the proposed enlargement reasonable. However, I do want them to address the neighborhood character issue, especially with regards to the trash collection and the storage that has to be contained within the building, and minimize. I have gone by the site and I have seen trash bags lying there. Maybe it can be done through rolling out the trash containers, and those are used to dump rather than trash bags. Any update on the environment review, Ms. Benke?
Hi, we did issue comments in July on the EAS. And we have not received the revised EAS. The comments did span many of the things you touched upon, including noise, air quality, transportation. So once we receive the revised EAS, we can determine next steps.
Thank you. Vice Chair Shibata,
I have no further comments. Thank you.
Commissioner Otley Brown.
I do have the similar question that you do as to the refuse storage, and I'm looking at the plan, I believe it's their seller plan, where they have, no, it's their first plan, existing first plan that, a first floor plan that has no change, where they have an extraordinary amount of storage space and a very large central kitchen. And a lot of things are labeled here, existing walk-in freezer, you know, then existing storage room, then there's an existing kitchen storage room. And then there's what appears to be a very small existing recept room. I'm wondering if that's some kind of garbage receptacle room, but I would like to know which of these rooms are garbage storage and are any of them refrigerated storage? Because it's clear that they're going to have to prioritize storing their refuse on site in the building until literally right before they have to bring it out for garbage collection.
Thank you. Commissioner Shetta.
Thank you, Chair. I have no more comments on this application.
Commissioner Yu.
Thank you. I wanted to thank the applicant for the programmatic needs report. I thought it was really thorough and it was very helpful. Chair, you mentioned an increase of classrooms from the existing 97 to 106, but I think it's just 100 new classrooms.
Oh, okay.
Or total classrooms, because they're deleting a few and then adding 7 new ones. I just double checked, but maybe the applicant can clarify.
Okay, thank you.
So I just wanted to get confirmation that the existing offsite activities, because there was some mention that this is an effort to consolidate offsite activities as well as accommodate the increase in population. So the existing offsite activities I found were therapy spaces that are rented in a facility across the street, as well as outdoor play space. So if you can confirm that those were the only 2 offsite activities. And then for the outdoor play space, there's a mention that Penn Street is closed twice a day for recess or outdoor play, and that the rooftop play areas would alleviate the need to close off Penn Street. So can the applicant confirm that you will no longer need to close off Penn Street during the school day?
Yeah.
Those were my only questions.
Thank you for bringing that out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Commissioner
Any-
Shetta?
Yes, Commissioner Shetta.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, on this application, I have no further comments.
Thanks. Next, let's go to the next case. Thank you all.
Okay. Item number 11, 185 BZ, 97 Franklin Avenue, Brooklyn, sorry.
Okay, thank you. This is an application for an extension of time, seeking a 4 years extension of time to complete construction and obtain a certificate of occupancy pursuant to a previously approved variance for a 3-story residential development. It expired on October of 2024. Sorry. So the applicant stated the reason for the delay, and the structure is up as photos indicated,
Yeah.
and applicant is seeking an approval to obtain I'm so sorry. Applicant did did receive an approval for a what was being held up, which was for sewer and water, did receive that, and With that, the applicant anticipates it will take about 4 years to complete the construction and obtain a certificate of occupancy. I have no additional questions or comments. I'm satisfied with this application. Vice Chair Shibata,
I am also satisfied with this application.
thank you. Commissioner Otley Brown,
I'm curious, what work remains? I'm gonna be the one fly in the ointment.
it seems
Looks like it's interior, right?
it's
That's what I'm
interior,
Thinking,
yeah.
but you know, that I just figured I would ask that question.
Fair enough. Commissioner Shetta,
Thank you, Chair. Nothing further from me.
okay. Commissioner Yoon,
Thank you. I have no comments.
Item number 12 on the zoning calendar, 2023-55 BZ, 14920 Rockaway Boulevard, Queens.
okay. At the last hearing, board had some comments, and specifically it was regarding the ensuring safety of turning movements within the site and turning movements to and from the site. Primarily, the concern was allowing a left turn exit from the westernmost curb cut along Rockaway Boulevard. I really want to thank the applicant for listening to our concern and making the revision to the plan. So the applicant has revised the plan where it is proposing to add 3 no left turn signs for all 3 curb cuts. So the 2 curb cuts are on Rockaway Boulevard. Any vehicles exiting will not be allowed to make a left turn. They will have to make a right turn and keep going forward. Same thing for 150th Street, there would be no left turn that would be permitted. So the only additional left turn, no left turn is for the westernmost portion of Rockaway Boulevard. In addition, the applicant is going to indicate that, has indicated on the plan that the parking space number 7, which is closest to the exit of onto 150th Street, would be an employee parking. And this is again to make sure that no vehicles would unnecessarily block that area and keep turning from the gas pump onto the 150th Street from happening. So I'm very satisfied with the submission, and I want to thank the applicant for listening to the concerns and coming up with a solution. Oh, Ms. Benke, I think we are all closed with all the environmental review, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Vice Chair Shemeta, sorry.
Thank you, Chair. I'm also satisfied with this application. I have nothing further for comment.
Thank you. Commissioner Otley Brown,
I have no comment.
Commissioner Shetta. Commissioner Shetta,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was disconnected and I was trying to reconnect during the past probably minute and a half. I have nothing further, Rockaway, in this application. Thank you.
Your screen is frozen though, Commissioner.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That Zoom is acting.
Commissioner Yoon.
Thank you. I have no comments.
Okay. Thank you.
This concludes the review session for November 18th,
Okay,
2024.
so we're at 11:10. Should we give a 10-minute break and resume?
10 minutes.
Yep, 10-minute? Okay.
Okay, we'll resume at 11:20, ladies and gentlemen,
I can just make it simple, 11:30.
11:30.
11:30, yeah.
Why can't I,
Hey, Ms. Matias, we are back on the record, both live and streaming. You may proceed with the public hearing.
Good. Good morning. This is the New York City Board of Standards and Appeals public hearing for November 18th, 2024. We'll begin with the special order calendar, continued hearing items, item number 5, 82686 through 82886 BZ, 269-10 Grand Central Parkway, Queens. That bottom keep coming on.
I see Andrew.
Hi, I should also have a Bill Davies.
William Davies, right?
Yeah.
And Andrew also?
And what?
Is Andrew Studer on this one, or is it just Bill
No.
Davies?
No, it's not. He's just Rockaway Boulevard.
Mr. Davies, when you're ready.
You have to unmute.
Okay, am I good?
Yeah. Yeah. He's putting the screen. There you
Oh,
go.
there we go. Perfect.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board, and to respond honestly to the board member questions?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
William Davies.
Elise Fullader from Eric Polanic PC. I'm here with Bill Davies. He runs the roof, so I asked him to join so we could talk about your comments this morning. First is we've been back and forth with the community board, and there is a board member who's also a board member at North Shore Towers, and she asked to adjourn it a bunch of times, but I think I saw an email from her today or last night or today, one or the other, sorry, that asked to be put on in December for the land use committee. So we're going to go back to the community board, hopefully in December. And then hopefully we will get a full board later in December and can get a community board recommendation. And then I would like to share the screen, I think, for the plans, so we can just go through them together to make sure there's no confusion. Here we go.
I think building one, fine.
Yeah, it's just building 2 and building 3.
Chair, we're having trouble hearing you.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So if everyone can see, sorry, if everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
Bill, if I could turn to you to say how you're going to fix up building 2, and we can talk about if there's anything no one understands, but I'm turning to you.
There were comments of on building 2, the antenna count was wrong. I found 4 that were wrong. I don't understand how they got there, but they will be cleaned up. I'll remove those 4 on the drawings. They should not be there at all.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to be consistent. Whatever number you're proposing, first of all, the max is the 75 or that the board had. And I just wanted to make sure that the drawing and the tables
Yeah.
are. So you can
Okay.
just do that and just make sure it's consistent.
It's 4 antennas high. Let's call it. I'm going to remove 4 antennas. I don't understand why they're there. They're not even labeled on drawings. They're just dots. I don't understand how they got there.
Okay.
So the total will still be way less than 75. It won't be 75.
Yeah, it's a complicated roof, so I understand. but
It'll
it's
still be
just-
70. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, this is Commissioner Shera.
Hi.
Since you're gonna be retouching the drawings, can you copy the note that you added at the very end of the drawings?
Okay.
Yes, this one. Copy it and put it on the plans as well, please.
that BSA 5 is part of the plans. So where would you want it?
So I
Put
think
it on the roof plans.
so Commissioner Shetta is suggesting to add that roof entry alarm system note on the rooftop of all buildings 1, 2, and 3.
It's not just the entry alarm, it's also the signages that's on all the roofs. I just wanna like get a commitment that all the signage placed
So
on the roof are coming based on the report from PeerCon. So please take this note as copy and paste it on the roof plans, all of them.
So you
The
just
door,
want,
the two paragraphs, you want both paragraphs on each of the
The
single
one that
page?
says the signage, if you read, there is part for the fire alarm and there's part for the signage. The one that pertains to the signage.
I guess types and locations of all access signage.
Yes, thank you, Elise.
This bottom paragraph,
Yes,
he wants on,
That one?
put
Okay.
here.
Okay.
on all the roof plans, just to be, I don't want to back and forth, on all the roof plans.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So let me get this right. It's types and locations of all access signage. That paragraph you want on all the roof plans, right?
Yes,
Okay, got it. Not the door
not the
alarm
entire thing.
contents.
Yes,
Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
not the entire thing.
Yep. Okay. On every page, on each page of the roof plans. Okay. There's room. We'll make it happen.
Sorry, and then, Chair, were you going to say something? I thought you were in the middle of saying something. Oh, no, okay. And then we can go to building 3 now. Bill, I guess, tried to count again and we didn't see an issue, so maybe if you could say your comment one more time so we can figure out the issue.
building 3, what I found on page 11, the number of antenna on the roof that was listed on the table is 43, but when I counted it, it adds up to 49.
I counted 43. I don't know.
This is
I don't
count
know.
in the roof, meaning the bulkhead of the, also the bulk, everything together. So as long as everything is correct, that's fine. Maybe my count was bad. But just make sure all the counts are corresponding.
Yeah, from when I added up, it all adds up to 69. 43, 15, which equals 58, plus the 10 dishes and the 1 camera is 69.
All right, then my bad.
Okay. Yeah, 69.
So I think that covers it. We'll just update the plans and we will meet again with the community board and hopefully they will schedule this.
Okay, great. Any other questions or comments? Let's then go to the public.
The case that we're currently discussing is 82686BZ through 82886BZ, 26910 Grand Central Parkway, Queens. Should you wish to discuss, dial 669-254-5252. At the prompt, you'll enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the prompt after that, you will press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, you will press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute as you are calling in for on the phone. And if you're in the Zoom room already and wish to use your Zoom hand, please raise it's the little hand at the bottom of your computer screen. Once you are recognized, you will have 3 minutes in which to provide testimony.
Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. I guess it would be best to say that we will schedule this after the community board. And it would be in January, so you'll have plenty of time to make the corrections. And
Well, I guess my question is that, is it not possible to close because the community board held it off? What?
my mind. Yeah. I'm just
What?
waiting.
Oh,
Waiting for the clock to run out.
oh, okay.
So I'm going to make a motion to close.
Chair Shonda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye. We'll try to schedule this for early January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's been very quick with the changes, so whatever works for you, I'm sure works for him, even though I'm speaking for him. Sorry, Bill.
I'll have the changes done today.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, item number 6-29304 BZ, 610 Lynette Avenue, Brooklyn, Queens.
This would be Mr.
Jay Goldstein.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Um,
Mr. Goldstein. Is there anyone else participating with you?
Not this morning.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond honestly to board member questions?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
Good morning, Jay Goldstein on behalf of the applicant. I don't actually believe there were any comments from the board on this application. We thank the board for their review, and if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you for submissions and especially the renderings. Any other questions, comments? Okay, let's go to the public then.
Oops, yep. It's getting ready to close. The case we're currently discussing is 29304 BC, 610 Lynette Avenue, Queens. Should you wish to comment, dial 669-254-5252. At the prompt, you will enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the next prompt after that, you will press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, you will press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute as you're calling in on the phone. And if in the Zoom room already, please raise your Zoom hand, which is the little hand at the bottom of your computer screen. Once you are recognized, you will have 3 minutes in which to provide testimony. Come on, stay on. Almost.
I make a motion to close this application.
Chair Shonda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye. And we will, no submission is required. We will make an early January decision.
Okay, I know the December hearings are not possible. I don't know what the board schedule is.
But I think it will be a little tight for us to get the resolution. So, unless January, okay, Mike,
Okay,
okay, thank you. We'll make it early January, yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
New cases, new cases on the SOC calendar, item number 7, 15490 BZ. 730 Avenue S.
That would be Mr. Jay Goldstein.
Raise your right hand, you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond on any city board member questions.
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
Good morning, Jay Goldstein for the applicant. We heard the review session. We appreciate the board's comments. I'll go through them quickly now, but I think most of them will be done in writing as they pertain to the plans. We'll explain, Madam Chair, the 4th floor use and update the utilization chart to make it a little clearer of what's going to be with that space. And with regard to that as well, Commissioner Yoon will add ages where appropriate to try and break down a little bit better the utilization by those age groups. We will, at the same time, though, we'll look at the building to see if there are ways to reduce the massing at the 4th floor to take into account the board's comments and the character of the neighborhood. With regard to the ramp on the side of the building, I understand where the board's going with this. Some of our members actually don't use elevators for religious reasons, but I spoke to my clients and we will look if there is an alternate solution to that ramp so that it's not as big, not as intrusive into the sidewalk. Perhaps a temporary ramp or a portable ramp, something of that nature. So that it can be used, on the Sabbath morning when needed. We'll update the plans for,
Workarounds with that elevator.
I'm sorry?
There's some workarounds with the elevator. I know it's not, you're not allowed to use something mechanical.
Right, so there's something known as a Shabbos elevator, which runs automatically. Some people, depending on their religious beliefs, and this board has seen it before, and actually, as part of the original application, the reason they didn't have an elevator was for that religious purpose. Over the years, that the technology has increased and gotten better, but still there are people who don't use it. But we'll come up with a solution to either remove the ramp and come up with a different accommodation for those people. I just need to speak to the rabbi and to the community, the congregation at large, to see the best approach. But we heard the comment and we appreciate the board's comment on that.
I think the purpose is really is to have no intrusion of any sort on the sidewalk, because with the increased number of congregants and generally on Sabbath is when you're going to see the most amount of footfall, to have another obstruction on the sidewalk kind of defeats the whole intent. So that's why I assume there are workarounds with the technology today that allows for access from the street level, elevator access from the street level, and then and it's through the technology that affords it, and hopefully it would address it. I'm not an expert of it by no means, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But I think the other options will kind of defeat the whole intent. While it may be temporary, but it would be on the day when you have the peak amount of volume.
No, so that's what I was saying. I don't know the solution. I heard the board's comments and I explained it briefly to the congregation. They understood it. So it will be something that that I'll go back to them with and explain the concern of having the sidewalks encumbered by an encroachment, and we'll work around it.
Yeah.
So that it's not encumbering the sidewalk. We understood it, and my rabbinical teachings didn't go very far. I went to law school instead, so it's not a comment that I can address either. I have to go back to the congregation and to the rabbi. Yeah. We'll clarify in the plans the window wall attenuations and the locations based on street frontages instead of based on north-south. And then we'll work while we look at the plan and the massing, we'll work with the parapet and the railing to scale it back, have one and scale it back from the walls also in consideration of the massing.
Yeah, I think definitely visually what Commissioner Yoon suggested would go a long way. I would also suggest that there is that opening that extends all the way to the roof of the fifth floor, right at the corner, which would look down into the lobby. I think you don't need to extend that all the way to the fifth floor, because
Okay.
that can be kept to the existing height, and you would still have the light and air that's coming through. So there's a programmatic value that is being added, a programmatic justification that you can have for that to be extended all the way to the fifth floor. So there are other ways, and that's why I was asking for the stair direction. It's a way to kind of shape the stair bulkhead according to the movement of the
stairs.
stairs.
Right.
That would reduce the appearance of the bulk. So there are three ways to do that. One is, as Commissioner Yoon pointed out, which is, I think, definitely the first measure and easily doable. Second one is the stair bulkheads, and the other one is that entry corridor, and
Right,
how, and
absolutely.
then based on programmatic need, if some portion of the fourth floor can be scaled back, let us know if that's possible.
Understood. We will revisit it based on the comments of the board. And submit revised plans. Okay, I believe those were all the questions. We'll put obviously the notes on the roof, in addition to the sound attenuation notes, we'll put the notes about no lights and no amplified sounds, and the use of the roof will be limited to the Sukkot holiday. It won't be in conjunction with any of the fourth floor celebrations, which are intended to be the standard celebrations that connect to the congregation that this board has seen routinely. But we'll add those notes as well.
So if we could add those comments to your statement or letter.
Right, we'll do that as well, no problem.
Actually, I am trying to say, were there any prior noise attenuation requirement that the prior board had required? There are no windows on the two side lot lines, right? It's solid wall.
I believe so.
Okay, because I don't think I saw an elevation of those two facades, so that's why I'm asking that question. Post condition.
I don't see any windows on that wall, and I actually believe I told them no windows on that wall for that reason.
Okay.
But I'll double check.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the plan to see if there's anything that would lead to that. No, it is all solid so far. Solid. Yeah, it's solid on all sides.
Right. I believe it was done intentionally. Can't speak for sure, but I'm pretty sure we did it intentionally to protect the neighbors.
And also provide noise attenuation along the lot line that is abutting the residential building on the roof.
Okay.
And mechanical, so that noise from the mechanical thing would not be a disturbance to the residential building.
Right, no problem.
Any other comments or notes? Mr. Goldstein, anything that we need to clarify?
I believe there's open seeker, which we're working through with staff.
Yeah, we just sent a few follow-up comments on the revised EAS. So once those are addressed, we'll determine if any more review is needed.
All right, let's go to the public.
The case we're currently discussing is 15490 BC, 730 Avenue West in Brooklyn. Should you wish to comment on this case, dial 669-254-5252. At the prompt, you'll enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the prompt after that, you'll press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, you'll press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute as you're calling in on the phone. And if you're in the Zoom room already and wish to participate, please raise your Zoom hand, which is little hands in the bottom of your computer screen. Once you are recognized, you will have 3 minutes in which to provide testimony. God, it's time.
How much time, Mr. Goldstein, would you need to?
I think if we can get on that, I don't know if it's still possible with the late January hearing. I know the early January hearing is probably full.
Actually, hold on, let me just go to the.
January 27th. Can you submit by January 9th?
Yeah, I believe so, so we'll push on it. It gives us 5-6 weeks.
My combined lineup is. I'm sorry, I'm not able to see.
It's okay. I can confirm it with staff also after the hearing.
Get back to you. Mr.
So you would
Goldstein.
prefer a late January submission?
I mean, I would prefer, I think early January is a little fast, but late January, I think we can do.
Okay, January. Hearing, okay. Nobody called in. Okay,
Nope.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
thank you. Have a good day.
Good day. Bye.
Item number 8, 8892 BZ, 3000 East Tremont Avenue. We'll second call this tomorrow. We
yeah.
did receive the revised.
We did, but
Yeah.
we'll hear it tomorrow.
We'll do the review session and the public hearing
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay, item number 9, 23807 BZ, volume 7, 5-1747th Avenue, Queens.
Who would it be?
Sheila Posen.
And Rachel.
Rachel Skull and Peter Papa Michelle, Michael.
Papa Michelle. And anyone else?
There's a Myron
Myron?
Glucksman.
Myron Gluckman?
Is Myron Glucksman part of your team?
Yes, he is.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Ms. Posen.
No, no worries. Sorry, just trying to get my camera on. There it is.
Sheila, oh, is Peter Darrow also?
Peter Darrow and Peter Papa Michael, Myron Glucksman and Rachel Skull are all available to answer questions and are part of the team.
Peter Darrow is also part of the
Okay,
team.
Peter Darrow. Okay, yes.
Okay, Mr. Glucksman, waiting for Mr. Darrow, then I can swear everyone in.
There he is. Peter, unmute yourself.
Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Darrow?
Hey.
Good, ready? Everyone, that's it?
Ready.
Ms. Posen, fine? Okay, raise your right hands. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board, and to respond only to the board member questions?
I do.
Okay, please state your name for the record and please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
Myron Glucksman, Treasurer of the Graduate Center Foundation.
Peter Darrow, the Chair of the Graduate Center Foundation.
Mr. Peter Papa Michael, Principal of the Varea Group, Real Estate Developer and Sponsor.
Rachel Skull, Cozen O'Connor, Land Use Council for the Varea Group.
Sheila Posen, Land Use Council for the Graduate Center Foundation, Inc. Oh, Tony, you're on mute.
Mute? Oh, no, mic is on.
Oh, sorry. Your little
Is it?
microphone. But I can hear you. Apologies, everyone. I'm having my technology issues today. Good morning, good afternoon, almost afternoon, Chair Shanda and Commissioners. Sheila Posen with Kramer Levin for the applicant. This is an application to extend the time to complete construction and obtain a certificate of occupancy pursuant to a previously approved variance, which allowed the construction of a 12-story mixed-use residential and commercial building that's been constructed by LIC Res LLC and received a final certificate of occupancy on September 18th, 2015. We're here today on behalf of the Graduate Center Foundation of the City University of New York for an extension of time to complete construction of the 6-story community facility, student and faculty housing building. As you know, the variance expired on September 23rd, 2020. So we're also applying for a waiver of the board's rules of practice and procedures to file this extension application on the SOC calendar. As you know, the dormitory building is part of a larger combined zoning lot that's comprised of multiple tax lots. It's located partially in an M14 zoning district and partially in an M14 R6A district within the Special Long Island City Mixed-Use District. The dormitory building itself is located entirely within the M14 zoning district. As you know, this site has been vacant for quite a while. Despite the foundation's efforts to develop it. They were ready in early 2020 to try to move forward with its development, but as we all know, COVID happened, and as a result, all construction projects within the CUNY system were canceled. So at that time, the foundation did not have the financial ability to develop the dorm building on its own, and the partnership that it had entered into with a private developer did not move forward, and the foundation had to withdraw its application to extend time to complete construction. Thankfully, new construction projects are once again moving forward in the CUNY system, and the foundation, after years of looking, has found the perfect partner to build this project. They will be partnering with the principals of Domain Companies and the Varea Group to co-develop the dormitory building, with the Varea affiliates as general contractor and property manager. As described in greater detail in our application, Domain and Varea have a history of successful mixed-use residential and student housing development, both locally and nationally. Now, before I have the representatives of the foundation and Varea unmute themselves to answer any questions, I just wanted to emphasize a few things. First, as you know, the variance was granted to satisfy the foundation's programmatic need for housing for CUNY's Graduate Center students and faculty. The foundation's programmatic needs, as reflected in the approved plans, have not changed. They still need housing for their students and faculty. Second, and I think this is something everyone is aware of, New York City is facing a severe housing shortage that makes housing, including housing for students and faculty, limited and expensive. Third, this is a very important project for CUNY's Graduate Center and its foundation, and for the students and faculty who desperately need housing in New York City. And finally, if this application for an extension of time to complete construction is approved, Varea and the foundation anticipate obtaining a TCO for the dormitory building by the second quarter of 2027, allowing students and faculty to move in for the fall 2027 semester. During this morning's review session, we noted that I did not do the best job of making sure that the commissioners understood when the full construction timeline for the project. We will be updating the statement of facts so that it'll be more easily digestible in tabular format. We'll pull it from the appendix, make it a little easier to follow. So as I noted previously, I'm joined today by representatives of both the foundation and Varea, and we would be happy to answer any questions.
I think most of my commissioners were able to find that document. It was me who was not, so I don't think it was that poorly written, I would first say. I just needed to do a better search, and I did look for it and I found it. And but yes, please bring it to the front, because that just kind of helps the narrative. Yeah, I mean, the grant would be for a 4-year term, so you have 4 years to complete, but we recognize, I think, as I was stating, given the complexity of this site and everything, it relies on so many factors, and we put in the best effort you have put in the best effort to project to 2027 and, and TCO, and should you need an extension, that is something the future board hopefully will be supportive of. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Any questions or comments, any clarification?
Madam
No.
Chairwoman, it's Peter Darrow speaking, the chair of the foundation. I'd just like to say that we deeply appreciated your comments during the course of the session this morning, as well as other comments about how complicated this is, how crucial it is to CUNY. CUNY, as you know, provides an enormous service to this city in terms of both teaching in all the colleges and producing PhDs who are ready to serve the city of New York. So this is a very important project, but your recognition of the complexity was right on the mark. So thank you so much for that, and we look forward to continuing to work with you to get this accomplished.
I'm just saying it as not a biased CUNY student. Thank you. Yes, go
I
ahead.
just want to make sure that we thank all the commissioners as well as the staff that has really given us guidance, and we appreciate their effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go to the vote.
The case that we're currently discussing is 23807BZ, Volume 7. Should you wish to discuss, dial 669-254-5252. At the prompt, you'll enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the prompt after that, you will press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, you will press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute if you're calling in on the phone. And if you're in the Zoom room already and wish to participate, please raise your Zoom hand, which is the little hand at the bottom of your computer screen. Once you are recognized, you will have 3 minutes in which to provide testimony.
I'm going to make a motion to close. I think anything that you want to submit, you can just submit as part of your cover letter would be sufficient. You don't need to revise a statement of fact. Just clarify the timeline in the cover letter, and that should be sufficient. And we will schedule this for decision on December.
Thank you very much.
Motion to close, Chair Shanda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shatta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
What's the submission date for December?
Oh, it's already passed. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
no.
we can give it a
November 21st.
Yeah, you have, I think we can give you a little bit more time to provide just the cover letter with that timeline. That's it.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, 2024-27BZ, 50 and 5512BZ, 762 White Avenue, Brooklyn. This is Curtis Stanhouse.
40 under 40. First of all, congratulations, 40 under 40.
Thank you. Is there anyone else joining you, Mr. Steinhaus?
No, it'll just be me today.
Raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond honestly to board member questions?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
All right. Good morning. Kurt Steinhaus from BCLP, representing Base Rahal to Satmar Boys School at 762 White Avenue in this application for an amendment to an existing special permit and a new bulk variance. We heard the board's comments and will revise and coordinate the application accordingly. Just to clarify at the outset, the site is improved with one building that is half 6 stories and half 4 stories. The proposed height of the enlargement would be 74 feet 6 inches to the building roof, which is the same as the existing building. But visually, the height is 76 feet 9 inches to the top of the parapet. The EAS is taking a bit longer than expected, but we'll of course submit that as soon as we can to move that this application forward. With respect to the board's 2 environmental conditions in the original resolution, we're still investigating compliance, but of course, we're going to submit the compliance chart as soon as we have more information, and we're going to add the notes about sound attenuation to the proposed plans for this application. As far as the therapy rooms, we just want to clarify that the new therapy suite proposed would be replacing off-site therapy space that the school currently leases. And this would result in the displacement of a few classrooms, resulting in a net increase of 3 classrooms from 97 to 100 classrooms. And this is indicated on page 41 of the programmatic needs report in the appendix. We also heard the board mention the school's waste disposal practices, which was also mentioned in DOT's letter. First of all, thank you for the reference to Lynette Avenue. We've already requested a copy of that application. One thing I would like to note is that the city's sanitation department actually picks up trash from the school daily. So this isn't a situation where a private company only picks it up once or twice per week. The school is working with the Department of Transportation and the sanitation department to put together a waste disposal plan. And that way we're going to ensure that there's ample sidewalk space to maintain orderly arrivals and departures. And we just want to note that that Penn Street is actually quite a wide sidewalk. The other thing we want to clarify about Penn Street is that even though the new rooftop play area that's proposed would allow the school to reduce its reliance on Penn Street from closing it for the amount that it's currently being closed, the school expects that a minimum amount of closure would still be necessary after the enlargement with the play area.
Can you provide an explanation on that part as to why that would be necessary? A little bit more detailed analysis of that as to what is the current closure periods and why it would still be needed, because you're getting a pretty large chunk of rooftop play area. And I don't know did we get a utilization chart of the rooftop play area? And I don't know if we also, and there's also another play area on the second floor. There's a little courtyard on the second floor that's also took, I think in the plan, it's called a rooftop outdoor play area or something like that. And that I don't think has been discussed in the utilization analysis. So that also needs to be looked at.
Okay, we will definitely provide more analysis as to how much space is necessary on a per student basis. And I would note that the very last page of the programmatic needs report, which has the revised building utilization schedule, so page 51, it does include utilization for the rooftop play areas, but we'll of course provide that additional analysis about the school's needs.
Yeah.
So could you just point me to where the garbage is actually stored?
So our understanding right now is from the information we've received from the school is that they actually take it outside basically immediately. We do recognize that there were certain storage spaces that you referenced on the first floor, but we'll get more information and you know, in terms of the disposal practices when we put together a disposal plan that's satisfactory to the sanitation department and DOT as well.
So it would be helpful to know what is the pickup hours for the sanitation, and when you say it's taken out immediately, is it right before the pickup, or is it when the school closes and there's a long gap between the school closing and the pickup? Because it is an eyesore and it does block quite a bit of the sidewalk, and most of it is located at the corner. So that is also affecting somebody trying to access the curb to cross the street. So we need to be mindful of that.
Understood.
And I'm not sure why it has to be individual trash bags. Why can't it be stored in a container and the container rolled out for sanitation to pick it up? That might be a little bit more contained, no pun intended, and can be can keep the elements from spreading out into the sidewalk.
Understood. So we'll definitely provide that information in the waste disposal plan. And I just wanted to note that the site plan does propose 9 enclosed containers along Penn Street to make sure that you know, the trash is enclosed.
Okay, that I don't think was quite clear from the plan.
Is it on the plan, Mr. Steinhaus?
Is it there on the plan? I don't remember.
Yes, I can actually share my screen just to show you there. There we go. So here we go. Oops. So they're proposed to be located right here.
Oh, is that the one?
But we'll of course, you know, be working with sanitation and DOT to make sure that you know, they're satisfied with the waste disposal plan.
Yeah, so I need a very detailed operational plan.
Understood.
What are the other questions? Okay, so I think that those are the two main issues that need to be resolved. If are there any other questions or comments for Mr. Steinhaus? Okay, let's go to the public then.
Okay, the case that we're currently discussing is 2024-27 BZ and 5512 BZ, 762 White Avenue, Brooklyn. Should you wish to comment, dial 669-254-5252. At the prompt, you'll enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the prompt after that, you'll press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, you'll press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute as you're calling in on the phone in order to be heard. And if you're in the Zoom room already, please raise your Zoom hand, which is the little hand at the bottom of your computer screen. Once you are recognized for all, you will have 3 minutes in which to provide testimony.
How much time will you need to address these comments?
Probably a couple months.
Okay.
Because, especially because there will be some back and forth with the agencies.
Okay.
Mr. Steinhaus, I just realized I was looking for the Penn Street elevation, but it's labeled, I think it's mislabeled as the proposed north parentheses White Avenue elevation. So if you could just have that amended on the drawings. And then also when you come back with the description of the Penn Street closures that are anticipated in the future condition, how that is coordinated with DOT and the relevant agencies.
Okay.
And I think we also need the elevation of the rear lot line.
Okay.
The plan don't show the elevations of rear lot line. So
Okay, no one's called in, no one's raised a hand.
okay. Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Item number 11, 18513 BZ, Volume 3, 197 Franklin Avenue.
The
Elise.
Yeah, I've let her.
Where is she?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Just me. I told the owner that he did not have to attend.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond honestly to board member questions?
I do. Thank you so much.
Wait.
Sorry.
Restate your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
Elise Fullader from Eric Palatnik PC. Thank you so much for your comments. To respond to Commissioner Otley Brown's comments, yes, it's mostly interior. 90% of the exterior is done. They have to put the brickwork on. And then he gave me a lot of information, but the interior framing is done. Electric has been starting. They're trying to put down a slab and finish the interiors. So just because of getting all these various sub-consultants into the building and getting all the sign-offs, that's why we're requesting 4 years. But this project is moving along and ownership is constantly pushing every day to finish this project.
All right. Any satisfied, Commissioner?
Very satisfied.
Okay. If there aren't any comments or questions for Ms. Fullader, let's go to the public.
The case that we're currently discussing is 18513 BZ, Volume 3, 97 Franklin Avenue, Brooklyn. Should you wish to comment, please dial 1-669-254-5252. At the prompt, you will, I'm waiting for the screen, sorry. At the prompt, you will enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the prompt after that, you will press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, you will have to press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute. *6 to unmute as you are calling in on the phone. And if you are in the Zoom room already and wish to discuss, please raise your Zoom hand, which is the little hand at the bottom of your computer screen. Once again, the call number is 669-254-5252. Right.
No submission is required on this one. I make a motion to close.
Chair Shanda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shabeta, sorry, Sheta,
Aye.
sorry. Commissioner Yoon,
Aye.
thank you.
We will schedule this for December.
No problem, whenever works for you.
That's the earliest we can give you, Ms. Fullader.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining. I'm saying that they have permits. They're good, whatever works for you.
Now, January,
I think February.
so enthusiastic.
Oh, sorry, I mean it.
Next item is item number 12, 2023-55 BZ, 14920 Rockaway Boulevard, Queens.
Anybody else from your team
Andrew
that
Stewart,
needs to
right?
be on this call?
High
Andrew.
Point is just the best, so they like to be at hearings because they're the best. So, Andrew and Nick, if they're there, you can let them in.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Got it. Yes, he should be in.
Yes.
There
Okay,
you go.
raise your. Do you affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond only to the board member questions?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
Elise Fullader from Merrick Polanic PC. Thank you so much. I'm glad everyone is satisfied. If you have no further comments, then we should be good.
Yep. We have no comments. Let's go to the public.
So the case we're currently discussing is 2023-55 BZ, 14920 Rockaway Boulevard, Queens. Should you wish to comment on this application, dial 669-254-5252. At the prompt, you'll enter the webinar ID number 161-506-2662 and press the pound sign. At the next prompt, you'll press the pound sign only. Once you're permitted in, press star 9 to raise your hands, press star 9 to raise your hand, star 6 to unmute as you're calling in on the phone. And for the Zoom room when we're ready, please raise your Zoom hand, which is a little hand at the bottom of your computer screen. Once you are recognized, you'll have 3 minutes in which to provide testimony. No. I don't know. Not yet. Maybe for the Morrison. Yeah, I'll say it. No hands are raised.
All right, I make a motion to close.
Chair Shanda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Sheta.
Can't hear.
Commissioner Shadak, we couldn't
Didn't hear you. You're
Sorry,
muted.
I was muted. I vote aye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Okay.
I want to thank Mr. Stewart. You really always listen to our comments and come up with a good solution. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for saying so. We try to work with the board and appease them as best as possible. So I always want to, everybody to be satisfied. So
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And we'll schedule this for early January decision.
Okay. The parties that are still in the room, absent Deputy Chief Velez, Mr. Khan, Mr. Boniek, and Mr. Herman. If you have not heard your case today, we still have a hearing tomorrow, November 19th.
And one of the
And you also
SOC
do-
item, the 88-92- BZ 3007 East Tremont Avenue, Bronx will be heard tomorrow. We have second called it.
Yes,
It will be
thank
heard
you.
Tomorrow.
And if you have missed your item, please feel free to submit your comments to submit@bsa.nyc.gov.
Thank you.
Can't say it. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you all.
This
Have a good day.
This concludes the public hearing for November 18th, 2024. Thank you, one and all. So. Yeah, cut the road. Oh, Carla left? Okay.